Shadowing English 2601-2700. 2601. I opened the fridge to check for snacks. 2602. I found some fresh oranges. 2603. I peeled an orange and ate it. 2604. I watered the small garden outside. 2605. The sun was shining brightly. 2606. I walked around the backyard. 2607. I saw a butterfly near the flowers. 2608. I smiled at the beautiful scene. 2609. I hung the laundry on the line. 2610. I listened to the sound of birds. 2611. I cleaned the kitchen counter. 2612. I swept the floor quickly. 2613. I opened the window to let air in. 2614. I checked my mailbox. 2615. I found a letter from a friend. 2616. I read it carefully. 2617. I wrote a reply. 2618. I called my friend to say hello. 2619. We laughed together on the phone. 2620. I prepared a light snack. 2621. I drank a glass of water. 2622. I fed my pet bird. 2623. I cleaned the bird's cage. 2624. I watered the indoor plants. 2625. I rearranged my bookshelf. 2626. I found a book I had forgotten about. 2627. I read a few pages from it. 2628. I listened to a short song online. 2629. I danced for a minute in the living room. 2630. I checked the weather forecast. 2631. I wore a jacket for the cold. 2632. I stepped outside and felt the breeze. 2633. I waved to a neighbor walking by. 2634. I bought a small snack from a store nearby. 2635. I smiled at the cashier. 2636. I walked back home slowly. 2637. I watered some more plants on the balcony. 2638. I cleaned my desk before starting work. 2639. I sorted my papers carefully. 2640. I turned on the computer. 2641. I replied to important emails. 2642. I made a cup of tea. 2643. I drank tea while reading the news. 2644. I wrote a short list of tasks for the day. 2645. I felt motivated to start work. 2646. I completed a small project. 2647. I sent it to my colleague. 2648. I checked my calendar for the afternoon. 2649. I took a short break. 2650. I listened to relaxing music. 2651. I tidied up my workspace. 2652. I organized my pens and notebooks. 2653. I cleaned the keyboard and mouse. 2654. I refilled my water bottle. 2655. I looked outside and saw kids playing. 2656. I waved at them with a smile. 2657. I remembered to call my parents. 2658. We talked about our plans for the weekend. 2659. I enjoyed the conversation. 2660. I prepared a healthy lunch. 2661. I tried a new recipe. 2662. I chopped vegetables carefully. 2663. I stirred them in a pan. 2664. The food smelled delicious. 2665. I set the table neatly. 2,666. I ate slowly and enjoyed every bite. 2,667. I cleaned the dishes afterward. 2,668. I wiped the table clean. 2,669. I put leftovers in containers. 2,670. I washed my hands thoroughly. 2,671. I fed my cat and dog. 2,672. I brushed my hair. 2,673. I put on comfortable clothes. 2,674. I did a few stretches. 2,675. I walked around the house for exercise. 2,676. I checked messages on my phone. 2,677. I replied to my friend's text. 2,678. I read a short story online. 2,679. I wrote a few notes in my journal. 2,680. I reflected on my day. 2,681. I felt happy about small accomplishments. 2,682. I cleaned the floor quickly. 2,683. I organized my shoes. 2,684. I set my alarm for the morning. 2,685. I prepared clothes for tomorrow. 2,686. I drank water before resting. 2,687. I relaxed on the sofa for a while. 2,688. I turned on soft lights. 2,689. I enjoyed a peaceful moment. 2,690. I closed my eyes and breathed deeply. 2,691. I thought about positive events. 2,692. I smiled thinking about my friends. 2,693. I tidied up a corner of the room. 2,694. I arranged some decorative items. 2,695. I watered more plants. 2,696. I looked at the clouds outside. 2,697. I noticed a bird flying high. 2,698. I felt calm and relaxed. 2,699. I took a few deep breaths. 2,700. I went to bed early, ready for a new day.